Okay, so today we are going to be painting a version of that. I stress always the word version because my version is not going to be like your version is not going to be like her version, but still it's going to be awesome and it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be fun. So, just for those at home to reiterate what we are going to be using, it's a canvas, white paint, blue paint, two shades of it, some brushes, some string, some chalk, pencil, and the image of your choosing. And so those of you have been with me in the past, you know the trick that we are going to do, but we're going to show you a new trick today. So yay! It's going to be a little bit messy. So if you are not a fan of getting your hands dirty, I do apologize right now because we are going to get a little bit dirty. But it'll come off, I promise. The paint will come off. All right, so to start out, we're going to use our large pen. You should have a pen. It's a brush, isn't it? It's not a pen. We are painting, we're not writing. So we're going to get a large pen, brush. Why do I keep saying? So mine is just kind of this big, but whatever you have will be just fine. And with our large, we're going to get our large one and we're going to dip it into our blue paint. As you notice in the example here, we're going to have like solid blue and then it kind of goes in lighter. So really you can mix and match. You don't have to commit to one blue or the other. If you don't like it, you can change it. It's all good. For me, I am going to dip it in the dark blue paint. I'm going to get it pretty soaked and on the tip. And this time we're going to do a little bit fun because we're just going to do circles. Our brush stroke is going to be a circle. And so you can either do this way or that way. It's your choice, whatever you'd like. So we are literally doing circles. And so we want circles in the top and the bottom of your canvas. And if you want to go all the way to the edges, that's completely fine. If you want to keep it in the middle, that's fine too. Because we're going to make it dark on the top and on the bottom, and we're going to gradually go lighter to the center. So, do my circles. Get lots of paint on there. And the messier, the better, because we're trying in the end to create sort of like a snowy, windy, blizzardy, snow wonderland summer thing. And with these little circular strokes, we kind of get the effect of the wind. So far, I just got this going on. And once you've got a pretty good amount of paint on the top and the bottom, you can add a little bit of your light blue, or you can add a little bit of white to your brush. So we're not washing our brush, we're just gonna add a lighter color. So that's gonna add a lighter gradient to our sky here. I'm just gonna mix it in, overlapping just a bit where I already painted, so it blends a little bit better. Still with my circular motions. And as I go down or up towards the center of my canvas, I'm gonna add the light blue or the white, whatever color you're choosing, so that the center of it will be the light color. are ready for the next step. Let's see. How's it going at home? Thumbs up? Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay. So if you're still working on your swirl, that is completely fine. For those who are ready for the next step, I'm going to start explaining it. So before you have 2 pieces of string. If you, at home you only have 1 piece of string, that's completely fine. We're just like options here at Paint Night. So you can pick whichever one you want, and if the effects you aren't a big fan of it, try the other one, maybe it'll be better. So we are going to be painting our trees with string. All right, and this is the messy part, so I apologize again. So we are going to be dipping our string in the paint. So kind of see, how large your canvas is, and that'll be about how much you need to dip your string into the paint. If you want to dip the whole thing, cowabunga, do it. So I am going to dip my string in my white, and you're gonna have to coax it in there, kind of play with it. This is where the messiness gets in there. It doesn't have to be 100% coated, that's all right. And then I'm gonna get the excess off. So, and once I've got my string, whoops, and I dipped it in blue. So I'm gonna hold it taut and kind of rub it up and down, side to side, and there's my tree. If I want a thin tree, I can just do that. If I want a thicker tree, we're gonna go side to side. That's cool. See, it makes a pretty cool effect because you kind of got bark going on. So this is the one that I took the string, I dipped it in the paint, and I just went up and down. And then this is the tree that I dipped it in the paint. I kind of, squirted the excess, and I pushed the string side to side. How many did we do? However many you want. So after we do this, we're going to do the animal, and then if you want some more trees like on top of the animal or something like that, you can do that too. So you don't have to exactly commit to all of the trees right now.
What string did you use that, the medium one?
I used the thin string.
Oh, this one.
The thin one, yes.
Okay.
And sometimes it can be fun to kind of really squirt out a lot of the paint, kind of wring it out, and so you get like a really faded tree. So that way it's kind of like in the background, in the mist, you're not sure where it is. So instead of dipping it in the paint again, I'm gonna try to do like a little misty tree. You can barely see it, kind of not there, way in the background. So, however many trees you want to do them crisscross. Like one of the trees is about to fall. That's good too. So yeah, I'm just taking the string, dipping it in the paint, holding it by the ends, and against the canvas, I'm going up or down or side to side. And then if you see that you kind of need to take the paint off, that's why we have dirty hands already, because sometimes the string gets kind of soaked in paint, so we just kind of squirt it off. If you want to do it on a very thin one, then you can do trees that you can barely see, or ones that you do see. Just kind of test it out and see. All right, if you guys are dry and you know the chalk trick, you can go ahead and do the chalk trick. So the chalk trick is my favorite trick of all time, and I love to share it everywhere at all times. So I gave you guys a selection of 3 images. You can choose the buck and the doe, the unicorn, because it is my favorite animal and they do exist, or the wolf. Or if you want to do something totally different and freehand it, that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and do, just for consistency's sake, the buck and the doe. Okay. Now, we're going to kind of figure out where you want to put them. Start thinking about that while you're doing the chalk trick. You're going to take the image that you want, you're going to print it out, flip it to the back, and then with chalk, you are going to make a nice thick layer of chalk on the back of your image. So we're just going to rub it. Rub the chalk against the back of your chosen image. So you don't necessarily have to, well, pick one. You can do all if you want. That's totally fine with me. I'm sure a unicorn could get along with a wolf and a buck just fine. What? There you go. And once you think you have a pretty good layer of it, and I'm talking, I don't know if you can see it at home, but it's a nice thick layer of chalk. Image. You're going to take your pencil and we're going to place it wherever you want. And then with the pencil, you're going to outline your image. So you're going to trace it, better said. So when you trace it, you're transferring the chalk onto the painting. So, for those at home, you'll see that I kind of got the buck going. All right, so I did the buck, and hopefully you can kind of see it. So I did the chalk in the back, outlined it with the pencil, and it transferred to the painting. And now I can just color it in. We're gonna try again with a light blue, like a light blue tree. See what happens. trick that I found that if my tree is a little bit too broken up, I can just take a small section and kind of just run it right there, and it'll pop up. Whoever is happy with their animal, happy with their trees, and you want to add some snow, you can do it the cleaner way or the dirty way. And my hands are already filthy, so I'm going to do it the dirty way. So I'll teach for those at home the clean way in a second. So you're going to take a toothbrush that you hopefully haven't brushed your teeth with, and we're going to dip it into the white paint. A little bit. Get a nice little even layer of that. And then with your thumb, you're kind of spread the bristles apart, and then that can create a little shower of snow on your canvas. Hopefully you can kind of see that at home, but all I'm doing is taking my thumb and taking it across the bristles, spreading them apart, and it creates the snow. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We would love to see, oh, I see Jill is showing us hers.
Nice,
that looks
Jill.
awesome. And Sadie, let's see it. Oh, I love it. I love
Ooh.
the Jill.
I'm certain my not 3-year-old will love the unicorn. So
That's why I did a unicorn.
That is awesome. Good job. You can paint. It's awesome. Let's show mine. So I think it's awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You are artists, and it's all a masterpiece, and you're a masterpiece. And anyway.